Hello friends, welcome to my channel SushantChessWise. Today onwards we are going to start a new topic and this is about how to study the game, which are the games which a player should know. It is whether regarding he plays those openings or otherwise. These are some classical opening traps or lines which can be very handy. And if you are an e4 player, this is a very important part of opening training. And this is part of my curriculum which I use for beginners especially. So we are going to discuss 5 games or lines or analysis which one must know if we are playing the move e4 as white. So let's get started quickly. First is the move e4, e5, and of course initially one should play the move nf3 only. The knight develops and attacks the pawn, and here black has only 3 decent moves. See, one is nc6, other is the move d6, and third is the move nf6. Apart from this, any other move is really bad. So let's go into these things. If black plays f6 to support the pawn, see the king's diagonal here becomes terribly weak and the queen wants to use this diagonal to attack. So white starts with the move C, knight takes e5. White sacrifices his knight and launches his queen into the attack. One may say, well, it is against the opening principles, but look at the black king. See, after queen h5 check, black has only 2 moves and both are really bad. After g6, queen check, queen interposes, and we see there comes queen h8 and white is winning. And if black wants to play the move ke7, which is even more riskier, the game almost leads to a forced mate. So queen e5, king f7, and see bishop c4 check. The king is struggling. Only way to prolong things is to go d5 by black here. But see, you can make out easily. After d5, bd5, king g6, it's very similar to the game. Only thing is that white will not have queen f5, but already 3 pawns are there for the piece and the king is out. White can play the move h4 over there. So black plays kg6 directly, but now comes see queen f5 check, kh6, d4 check. Now see the king is trapped, so only move g5. The g5 pawn is pinned and white plays h4. Not only attacks the g pawn thrice, but wants to open this rook on h1, which is eyeing to attack the king on h6. So see after b7, which brings third support to g5, there comes hg double check, kg7, and see queen f7 checkmate. Let's go to the next example now. Here black has another option in the move d6, which also looks bad, but it's not as bad as it looks. The f8 bishop well is blocked, but you know in many lines of Roy Lopez where black plays nc6 and black often gets his bishop to e7 irrespective of it having place on c5 or not. So it's a solid opening if the follow-up is correct. Here white's main move is supposed to be d4, which we will discuss maybe in the next lesson. But right now let us look into the main move bc4. The bishop comes out, see it lashes out on the f7 square and controls the square c d5. Okay, so bg4, this is another typical mistake. Early development of bishop, early development of queenside bishop is especially considered very bad. Bishop pins the knight because of the queen here, but see it can often turn out to be a discovered attack by the queen. So white just ignores with nc3, and here the blunder is g6. Black should have just played developing move like be7 or maybe nf6. nc6 is also somewhat worse. So after g6, what would you do as white? It's white to play and win. White immediately pounces up on the opportunity to play knight e5. See the f7 square was weak. The loose bishop now guarantees a win of at least a pawn. See after d there comes queen g4. White is ahead in development, pawn up and a winning position. And after bishop d1, there follows a mate in 2 after bf7 check, ke7 and knight d5. This is a very old and a famous game called the legal's mate. Let's go to the main move nc6. After nc6, we will be looking at the move bc4, which is considered main. As I told you, bishop eyes f7, the d5 square is controlled well, and here black has two main options. One is nf6 and other is the move bishop c5. The move nf6 is very important because see, it develops the knight, attacks e4, so called the two knights game. Here white should play either the move d3, or many players feel that the move ng5 is really strong, so called the fried liver attack. But do note that after the move d5 here, which is perhaps the only good way, see the pawn going to d5 to protect the weakness of f7, the game becomes sharp and black has really good initiative. So it's not a very safe line to play if we don't know theory. It's better to play d3 than here. If white wishes to play nc3, this is why we are doing these lessons. See, nc3 is a bad move now. We must know this. Black gets ne4. And after ne4, nothing works. Many people feel that after bf7, kf7, ne4, we have managed to break black's castle. But see, against development, black has much more superior center control. See, here comes d5, ng5 check, kg8. The king looks unsafe, but see the g5 knight is hanging. The threat is e4. So the g5 knight will be taken. Only move d3. Black plays bd6 and see now h6 is looming now. It's very difficult. The point is that after castle there is h6, knight h3, takes and queen f6. Black is clearly better. Note the poor position of the king here. The knight is not well placed. Pawn on h3 is see rigged. The a8 rook is joining f8, king will be soon safe on h7. So this is a great position for black already. And after ne4 here, black has the move d5. Now black gets at least an edge in any line. Let's say bd5 here, then queen takes d5, knight c3, and the queen moves away without getting attacked, controlling the center and not blocking any of his own bishop's path. This is very important to follow when the queen gets attacked in the opening. These three rules. So now see, black's bishops will come out at one go and see white will have to move his d pawn. Okay. So that will cost him a move. That is why black is slightly better here. If white wishes to force things with bb5 here, which looks very attractive because after d knight takes e5, here too black has the very strong move. See, queen d5. The centralized queen causes serious damage here. See, only move bishop c6 check in order to protect one of the piece, and after bc the knight is in trouble. Maybe f4 has to be played, and if d4 is played here, black has a great move n%. See, many players miss this n% move, and now after see knight is hanging, so knight d3, queen g2, rook f1, bh3. Black is almost winning. Queen e2 check is just met by c b7, and see you can see that queen f1 is unstoppable. So see, here black will be an exchange up. So it's a winning position. Okay, meanwhile I forgot to show you another move which is very important attempt by black. Many black players here try the move nd4. This is another very important trap to know. The trap is that white is getting the e5 pawn. Black has offered the e5 pawn here, which is very risky. The best move for white here is c c3, nf3, queen f3, and now see the black's plan has backfired. He lost two moves. White is about to see get d4 after nf6 here. Currently see f7 is weak, so after nf6 white either goes d4 or castle, getting a clearly better position. Let's look at the trap quickly. If knight takes e5, then comes queen g5. A strange series of moves follow. This game is called the game of forks. Every move from here on is a double attack. That's why the name is so. Now see, g2 and e5 both are attacked. So white goes nf7 attacking c, g5 and h8, and see queen g2, another double attack. The queen attacks e4 and the rook. The position is already losing for white. See, if rook f1 here, then see queen e4 check, b2, knight f3 checkmates on the spot. And if knight goes to h8 here, then comes queen h1 check first, bishop f1, queen e4 check, b2, and here see black has the simple knight c2 check. Queen c2 is the only move. If king f1, then see queen h1 checkmate. Means white had to surrender his queen on c2, which would be winning. So now we finally have look at the main line, which is the move bishop c5. So the two moves which are good for black are nf6 and bc5 over here. So in c3, now white can play in c3, nf6, d3, d6. Since the center is closed, there is no need to rush and castle immediately. White just develops his minor pieces. Very important to get the minor pieces out. Here black has choice between 4 moves, out of which see only 2 are good. The main move I consider here is the move bishop e6. The move bishop g4 is somewhat bad. It's a symmetrical game. We will look at it next time. The move h6 is not as bad as it looks. White should play bishop e3. And finally, see, we are discussing the move castle, which happens to be a blunder. This is a typical trap. Just now white pinned the knight on f6 and castling over there is really catastrophic. So now what happens is white has nd5. See, big problem on f6. Soon there will be either nf6 or bf6 depending on what black plays. If black goes bg4 here, then see queen d2. Now the queen is see heading to the h6 square after bishop takes f6, which is almost unstoppable. Let's say bf3, bf6, g takes f6, and white doesn't play gf3. He goes queen h6. It's game over. Temporarily black is a piece up. But see now, after bishop moves away, there is an f6 check, and the best that black has is to give up the queen on f6 over here, to which see queen takes f6 and white would be winning, because if king h8, then queen h7 mates on the spot. So finally, let's have a look at the move be6 here. Many people think be6 can save this because now bishop into d5 will be there. So knight f6 check will not happen. But now white switches his idea. He goes nf6 first check, gf6, bh6. Now the bishop is eyeing the g7 square, rook e8, and comes the strong move knight h4. So what is happening? There is a big threat now. White is going to do see bishop e6 followed by qg4 and qg7 mate. So bishop is the defender. If black goes qd7, then white plays queen f3. Instant game over. It's a double attack between f6 and g3, and there is no defense to both. So let's say bishop c4, then queen f6 wins, and if queen e7, then qg3 check, king h8, qg7 checkmate. So I thought these are the games which any player who is playing the move first move e4 or even e4 e5 as black needs to know these games. This way our series will become of more higher level, more important games, must know games series. I will extend it. Do let me know how you are finding these lessons in the comments below. Thanks for your time.